the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their third-year quarterback calling the shots under center. It'll be Carson Wentz.
And what a season Carson Wentz was having in 2017 after a rookie season that was a little bit up and down, as you might expect. He was having an MVP caliber year. 33 touchdown passes at the time of his injury. Had his team at 11-2. Riding high, everyone thought that might be it for the Eagles. There goes their dream of winning a Super Bowl. Instead, Nick Foles comes in, team rallies, saves the day, and they end up winning the Super Bowl anyway. But Carson Wentz had a big hand in getting him in that position.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, take some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
Brooks Reed with a tackle. The starting defense for the Falcons.
And Grady Jarrett, their defensive tackle, not just a space eater, although he plays the run very well, knows how to get to the quarterback and provide that pressure in his face up the middle. Remember his 3 sacks in the Super Bowl against New England.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Ted McKinley in there to drop it for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This will be fielded at the 17. Pushing through to contact. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. It'll be Matt Ryan leading him under center, the 11th-year quarterback, 4-time Pro Bowler, and the MVP of the league in 2016.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016 where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Matt Ryan, he makes them go in Atlanta.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
On third down, Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Here's Ryan to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marched off another 15 against your squad.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Philly's offense getting the ball again here in just a second. But if you look at the NFC picture as a whole, a lot of talk, understandably so, about the Rams and the Saints, the Panthers even. But what kind of chance do you give the Eagles of getting back to the Super Bowl?
I give them a good chance because Carson Wentz continues to get better coming back from the knee injury. They made the deal to get Golden Tate, which gives them another weapon at receiver, and that's starting to get better for them. Zach Ertz has been tremendous at tight end. They need to get healthier in the offensive line, get that back intact, and that defense can be very, very good, especially Fletcher Cox wrecking things from his defensive tackle position.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, Adams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Derek Shelby takes him down. One quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it with Sproles. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Ertz has it left side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. By kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Spins away. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coleman now. And he spins through. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta. right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Falcons coming back out here onto the field. This has been a team that's had an interesting season. The rough start, and they picked it up some. As you look in your crystal ball going forward down the stretch, what do you see for the Falcons?
Well, I think on the surface you would think the injuries are just too much to overcome on the defensive side of the ball. But the way they've been playing recently, they put everything on the offense and just asking the defense to do just enough. And the offense is really giving them great play because Matt Ryan can throw to Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, the rookie Calvin Ridley, Tevin Coleman and Ito Smith running it and catching it. They're starting to put up points in big numbers and making people chase them each and every game.
And they may want to start to pad some wins now because 3 of their last 4 in the regular season are on the road, including trips to Green Bay and Carolina. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Now Ryan on first down. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Throwing now. Ryan on first down. Going underneath. It's Coleman. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ryan will throw again. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman from 8 yards out. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
So that drive, 4 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Darren Sproles as he works his way back onto the field for this next go-around. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On second down, here's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Wentz now on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Wentz to throw on second down. And he's got room. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Coleman. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, oftentimes when we get a chance to talk league-wide, we go offensive. We don't get a lot of defensive talk, but let's talk about some young rookies. I know you've told me Darius Leonard of the Colts has really impressed you.
He certainly has. He's impressed the entire league. I mean, at times he approaches 20 tackles a game. Sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone, out of South Carolina State. So you don't think about it, but you should. Derwin James with the Chargers, been as good as advertised at the safety position.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now Ryan. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from a yard out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Right back to him on first down, and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing now is Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it's 3rd and 5.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Kind of glad that ball hit the ground because I wanted to ask you about second-half resurgences in the NFL season. Last year we saw a pretty good one from San Francisco. Who is a team or two that you could see making a push, not necessarily for the playoffs, but just finishing strong?
I think San Francisco is a candidate for it because I think their defense continues to get better. They get nice pressure inside from DeForest Buckner. And I think on offense, whether it's C.J. Beathard or Nick Mullins, who was quite the revelation in the Oakland game on a Thursday night, they're going to get better play from the quarterback position while they wait for Jimmy Garoppolo to get better next year. And I think they're going to finish well and then look to 2019 to put it all together and really make a push for a playoff spot. In AFC, Indianapolis, just Andrew Luck's return, the offensive line getting better all the time. They get
Touchdown, Falcons! Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Falcons will add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Tavecchio to add the PAT. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And they open the lead up now to 25. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And an alley to run. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down now, Adams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Go.
Working from the gun. Wentz. And Tate's got it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Quick slant there gets him the 1st down. 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw is Wentz, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Wentz, screen pass to Sproles, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And here now come the Falcons. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 45 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And my friend, I think it's safe to
say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hang in there now. Here we go. Lady!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Wentz to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Defense.
So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
120.
Now Wentz. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Derek Shelby in there to get him for a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Over the middle, complete. It's Tate, and he'll get nothing out of that one. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much, unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Coleman. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.